We are excited about the elaboration room.
I am excited about this.
Welcome to the Elaboration Room with Reverend Yo and Reverend Harris.
Hello, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining us in the Elaboration Room with two sisters of one as we come to you on this love week. As we know, Valentine's Day is this week. Everyone is preparing for their love, their soulmates, their boyfriends, their husbands, or their wife. So whether your friends, everybody is celebrating somebody. And I remember in the single days, I celebrated myself. So
there you go.
Whatever you're doing on this week, we just want to wish you the best in what you do. But tonight we are going to talk about soulmates. Now, we both know soulmate is not in the Bible, but marriage is. So basically, we're just talking about who you have that feel of connection with so strong that you consider him or her your soulmate. So if you married, you consider your wife your soulmate, or do you consider your husband your soulmate? So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. That romantic partner with that soulmate feeling. So that's where we're going tonight. And we're going to see if your soulmate and you are really true love, because that's the question, because a soulmate is someone that you feel you have true love with, a true connection, and you are always there for him or her. So I am going to throw the ball over this week as well into my sister's court so she can kick us off tonight.
That was quick. I just knew you were just going to carry it on through and go ahead and bounce that ball yourself.
Well, I was, but you know, we shared love here. It's a serious topic to understanding because we're both married.
Mm-hmm.
And we both feel that our husbands are our soulmates because we've been married for many years. I don't think he's going nowhere. I'm definitely ain't going nowhere. I just be upstairs in another room, but I ain't going nowhere. So I really feel like we have this soulmate connection between the two of us because, we have this strong feeling of love for one another. And even though we know marriages have ups and downs, all marriages do, neither one of our marriage is perfect. We all have our situations going on, but we still consider our husbands as our soulmates. And the more time we spend together, in my opinion, the deeper that love grows and it develops more into who we are as a couple. So the more time we spend together and the more, I remember some of the older couples in our lives, they would say something and then the husband or wife would know what the other was saying. And sometimes I feel like my husband and I are to that point because I would think something like he's finna say so-and-so, just watch. And then he'll say that very thing. Or if I'm sitting there thinking and we're sitting on a couch watching a movie and I'm like, dang, I should have made me some popcorn. Oh, I'm thirsty. He'll be like, I'm gonna go get me something to drink. Do you want something? And it's like, oh, we just have that.
Each other's thoughts and each other's feelings. That's right.
So that's when I look at it, looking at, the soulmate part, that love, that true love of connection is more so what I'm talking about.
That's it. It's that lifelong bond.
Yes.
It's that lifelong bond, and how you get there, that's you want to be with someone. I know my elders would always say, yoked together, and as you were talking about Reggie, when I think about David, it's the same thing, that one of us will have a thought and it's like the other one will have it, or I can walk into his space and feel what he's feeling. And same thing with me. When something is up, when something, is wrong or off, I know it, I can feel it, and he can feel it. So when we think about a soulmate, because as we were talking about this topic and just having a whole discussion, we said we should have had the cameras rolling because when we think about it, sis was saying, some people get married and they think that that's their soulmate. And then what happens when the marriage breaks up? Well, as we both have said many, many times, marriage takes work.
A lot of work.
Marriage takes a lot of
Yes.
work.
Patience,
And I was
love.
telling her that that must not have been their soulmate, or because they didn't want to put in the work in the relationship, in the marriage, they let their soulmate go. You let your soulmate go because you didn't want to put in the work. Because if in the dating stage you are finding fault and you guys are arguing all the time and finding fault with each other, that's not your soulmate. Because when God puts two together, he joins them as one flesh. That flesh is not going to fight and be against itself. It's an unconditional love that you have with a soulmate. Someone who is respecting you and loving you unconditionally, and you are doing the same for them. You're honoring each other as God's gift to you. Mm-hmm. And so that's becoming the soulmate, pursuing the same passions and just like we make sure we laugh.
Yes,
We are
we do.
laughing. This house is filled with laughter, and we laugh until our guts hurt. And as I spoke to my aunt, Patricia Brown, about soulmates, because I have always watched her marriage, Patricia and Henry Brown, they call each other babe, 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 babe. And that's not why David and I call each other babe, but we do. And I asked her, we went to Georgia last year and we were sitting around, and I asked her, how is it? And I told her, I said, you have been my benchmark. And I said, what is your secret that you think? And she said, that's my best friend. Be best friends. And not just in name, but the family has always talked about how when they would come to visit, Patricia and Henry Brown, when they would come to visit, you would hear voices at 3 a.m, and they would just be talking. They would just be talking. And one family member said, what in the world could they still be talking about? They see each other at each day. What could they be talking about? And I understand it, because that's what we do. That's what we do in our house. It may be 11 o'clock and we are laughing and talking because, I can't say 3 a.m because I'll be asleep. But 11 or 12 o'clock and we are laughing and talking. Talking about what? I don't know. Be in a crowded room and we are laughing and talking with each other. Like the people disappear that's around us. So it's a connection. That's what your soulmate is. Yeah. Come on, sis, jump in there.
Well, mine will be opposite of yours, because at 11 o'clock at night, I'm asleep, but I will have a conversation with you at 3 o'clock in the morning. That I will do. I'm just the opposite, because, I shut it down early, but I'm up super early. But it's exactly what you said. It's a connection feeling of a strong love that you have built over time. Some people have instant connections and they have strong feelings about one another, and they're love each other at first sight. I don't know. I never experienced that. It's always been, I'll date you and then we'll see what happens. So nothing has ever been like instant love for me. But I learned that the more that you're with someone, to me, it's like just deeper it goes. Like you're in love with someone from, the day you really fall in love with someone, you marry that person and you're in love. But I just think every day of marriage is a more and more deeper love that you experience with an individual. My husband and I have been together for 20 years, and it's just totally different. It's like, like if when I'm gone away for like a week, I'm like texting, are you okay? Did you eat? Did you do this? Did you do that? What'd you do? He rarely responds. So I'm kind of better be start rethinking that. And I asked him that one time. I said, I've been gone a whole week and you didn't even text me. He said, because I knew you were on a retreat with the women. I'm not going to be texting you like disturbing you, and I know what you're doing. And I was like, well, I'll be texting you. He was
Yeah.
like, but you have time to. I'm the one to text you and you're in the middle of something. So, I was in my little feelings, but I got over it. And so now when I'm gone, he'll like just send a text, just checking in on you. What are you doing? Are you okay? Just hit me up when you have time. But and I would always tell him, well, you didn't miss me when I was gone because you didn't call me. He was like, I missed you a whole lot
Oh
when
my
you were
goodness.
gone. But, it was what you were doing. And now that I travel even more, it's like now when I'm gone, he like texts, did you catch a plane? Did you land on time? Did you arrive? Are you in your room? Who are you with? Are you safe? Everything okay? And it's like, yeah, 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 yeah. But now it's a lot different because we've been in this relationship so long. Like even if I go out, he knows if I'm not back home before dark, he's calling my phone because he know I don't like to be out at night by myself. So he's calling, hey, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm almost home. So it's just that part of togetherness, and you learn who people are. You learn when they're tired. You learn when they just want to be left alone. It's like the more you're there, you begin to understand truly what, your love, your connection, and your soulmate truly is. That's just my opinion on it.
It is. It's a fulfilling experience, and it enriches your life. It's being with someone who enriches your life.
Yes.
That deep and powerful connection with someone who understands you and accepts you. You've just watched part 1 of our episode on soulmates. Please tune in next week for part 2.
The Elaboration Room with two sisters of one. Make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode every Monday at 6 p.m.